let's talk about this FH125 Strix. And I think
And
we have
so
a slide. So let's pop this up. Want to show kind of talk about the different market segments and the gaps you're really targeting with this drone.
um, and so what I try to capture here is how the middle arc focus fits within the spectrum of the drones out there, and everything from these are DoD classification, but I think FAA uses exactly the same nomenclature. From Group 1 through Group 5, so Group 1, I think that's the Skydio, to Group 5, that's the Northrop Grumman RQ-4. That's pictured
Is Group
there.
2 on your picture the little
It
lobster?
is. That's our
Oh
lobster.
my gosh, dude, that is hilarious. I love it.
And then, but our focus primarily is going to be on Group 2 plus, we call it, but it really is technically is a Group 3. So if you notice, there's usually a factor of 2.5 between these weight classes, except when you go from 2 to 3, then it's a factor of like 50 or something. Haven't done the math, and I don't want to do it now. But
As a rule, Ned, I don't do public math, just so you know.
all right, good. And so we needed to kind of put some sharps and flats between those two notes. And so what we were talking about Group 2 plus is 125-pound takeoff weight. You probably noticed that our aircraft is, well, we're very proud of it. We think it looks very slick, but it's not all that different from everybody else's. Everybody's building roughly the same thing, because that is what inspection aircraft for that size would look like for a hybrid one. Next size up is going to be intermediate distance, intermediate weight package delivery. Again, we got to eliminate all those trucks that are out there carrying 4 tires from a warehouse to a Napa dealer in the middle of nowhere, right? And so that's my criteria. It has to be able to carry 4 tires, 150 miles. And so we're designing another aircraft, but that design point also is starting to, you see 1 or 2 of them out there now in the industry, and that's starting to take shape as a form by itself, which is designed for cargo.
So heavier cargo. Ned, I got to ask you, the Gruss, you've got a picture of a bird there. I assume that is in fact a Gruss. And why this bird? Why this bird?
Why does what?
Why did you pick this bird? Why this name?
Oh, we just named everything after birds, and that's I think that's a Latin name for a crane, and so therefore I have a picture of a crane. But we will unveil our design here, well, probably about 6 months from now. But honestly, it's going to look like everybody else's, very similar to everybody else's. There's no reason to not use what works well.
Yeah, of
So
course. I mean, you could always throw,
is quality and volume.
Yeah. Well, and Ned, honestly, there's color. I'd love to see a pink drone. I've only seen one in my entire life. And that drone happened to be a little tiny, kind of one for school age, probably girls. And I'm like, yay, amen. I see a pink drone. Let's go there. So Fixar's got the beautiful red drone. Wingtra's got their orange. And Census Technologies kind of orange and white. I'm going to go out on a limb. I haven't really seen yellow. I haven't seen pink. Green doesn't quite work, but maybe a better green than the one I've seen. Just throwing it out there. You can differentiate it by a cool color. It doesn't have to be a lobster.
There's a French company called Yellow something that does build yellow America.
Oh, Yellow Scan, the sensor
Yellow
company?
Scan, yeah.
Oh, that's true. They do have yellow drones. You put me back in my place there. But let's pop up this slide on your bespoke design for the FH125 Strix.
Yeah, I think we should go to slide 3 actually. So
yeah, let's get that up if you don't mind. Here we go. I think in a second. And while we're waiting for the slide to come up, here it is. We have a question from Morgan. What is the empty weight of the lobster, by the way?
Oh, that's a group two. So actually, empty weight is 40 pounds and then 15 pounds of pizza and beer. 55
Or
pounds.
sushi and,
Or sushi and Chardonnay. Absolutely.
no, not
Champagne.
Chardonnay, my friend. We're talking
Champagne.
soju. Anybody that has sushi knows that soju is a thing. It's
Um,
awesome. So I'm just throwing that out there. I had one more
I
question, and then
I
let's go
didn't
to
think I would learn something this morning, but then Brad educated me, and now you do. So
well,
we're good.
you gotta try soju, SOJU if you've never had it. It's crazy good,
Never
but
had
it's
it.
very high. It's like 13% alcohol by volume. All right, so, Ross is asking this really important question that actually goes back to the reg, and then we're gonna get to your design. Who is gonna do the inspections on these larger aircraft? Do you know that answer, Ned?
Who is going to do the, well, we have our own compliance team
Yep.
that would do the flight tests and all of that. And then obviously we have to work with FAA to, um, so some of that, again, I was getting briefed on how the inspection will change from what is in the proposed ruling. And
Yep.
so we would have to get better educated on that. But we are going to, but it's going to be internal to Meadowlark. I think that's the question, right?
Yeah,
And yes,
I think so, but I think you're right, Ned. Again, I gotta read it deeply, but my understanding is the FAA is, of course, not ceding their inspection, authority, and they're going to be doing inspections of some of these larger aircraft just for safety reasons. But let's talk about the Strix. Uh, our time is flying because you and I have been talking about so many different things. I knew it would. It always does. And by the way, to continue the conversation, everybody, with Ned, go back and watch his original video also from January, and then on the dawn of autonomy. And of course, join him live in North Dakota in October. If you've never been to the UAS Summit, it's a phenomenal event, kicking off with Grand Sky on Monday, happy hour out there, and then, the actual main event. But okay, Strix. Let's pop the slide back up. Sorry, my amazing producer in the background, because I talked over it. Let's just walk
okay,
us
so
quickly, hit the highlights.
okay, 125 pounds, and I think we said 10 hours, but that is with full 35-pound payload and 2 kilowatts of power. But we could do a 20-hour flight. You just have to slap another gas can on it. And this is a hybrid propulsion, two-stroke engine in the back, um, and um, and VTOL. But what really is special about it is, and so here if you have an aerial system, then of course it's comprised of multiple subsystems, and I've listed that on this slide. And the six on the left are on board the aircraft, and the three on the bottom are support systems that are not on board the aircraft. And so because we're building a digital twin of the aircraft, each one of those subsystems has also have a digital form that can then be optimized. The easy way to explain that is, where's the center of mass moving if I take this gimbal out and put this particular sensor on, and so on and so forth. But it's more complex than that in terms of noise interference between different systems, cabling, all of that. And so for that aircraft, I mentioned two use cases, and you actually added some to it with SAR. So for example, with GPR, GPR has to go hand in hand with SAR because the resolution otherwise wouldn't be good enough. And so now you're looking at, how to uh, get the aircraft to be stable enough in its performance to be able to do synthetic aperture while you're flying. The other thing is the capability to hover for the aircraft is very important. So when you're doing these kinds of leak detections, for example,
Yeah.
you set your detection threshold to be very, very low. So your beta airs are going to explode, but because you don't want to miss any, it's very critical that if you see or if you detect a leak, that you identify. But because you're setting that very low, you get a lot of false alarms. You have to be able to, on the same sortie, go back, hover, take deeper data, and then move on. And those are the capabilities that we built into our system, both from the avionics, the sensor capacity, and also the control firmware that goes on the aircraft to be able to do that.
And
So
then,
you going back
you're
and
alluding
forth.
to it. I mean, look, the drone collects the data, but you're talking now about the analytics on the back end. So are you also making
Well, I'm
that
going to add one
like,
more things on the aeronautics
go
because
ahead.
it's very important. That transition between vertical hover and going on the wing is a really critical aspect of getting the firmware right.